So I'm gonna break down how I went from a 10K a month entrepreneur to a 100K a month entrepreneur without any of the that everyone else is telling you about. I'm not gonna give you the oh, it's gonna be simple and it's not gonna be hard and you're not gonna have to put no work in and the passive, all the buzzwords that all of these online knobheads are telling you. A million. I'm just gonna give you the real experience of what I went through so that you could speed it up if you go down that journey. And also, there are multiple ways to make 100K per month. And I'm not saying this is the only way. I'm just saying this is the way that I did it. So what did I choose as my vehicle? I chose to start a digital marketing agency, particularly lead generation. The only reason I chose that is because I came from a sales background. We was always buying leads and the company actually folded and I lost everything. I lost my 100K a year salary and I had to start again. And what popped into my mind was, okay, when we was calling all of these leads, some of these leads were really hot, some of them were terrible. Where were these hot ones coming from? And it turned out that a lot of the leads were coming through paid advertising. So I just started my own agency and I started selling leads back to the companies that was in my network. But lo and behold, when you're first starting out, especially if you're in a desperate place or you have no money, which I didn't at the time, you say yes to everything and everyone to win the money, to pay the bills, which is fine, but that is not what's gonna help you get to 100K a month. That's gonna help you pay the bills. So the first habit that you need to adopt is focus. And I'm not talking about just focusing on the work you do. No, I'm focusing on helping one type of person achieve a quantifiable end result with one core offer. That's it. I was working with gyms, I was working with accountants, I was working with dentists, I was working with finance companies, I was doing everything. And for them, I was building websites, I was doing lead generation. There was no way I could scale that business. When you focus on one offer, one audience, one outcome, you get really good, you get more efficient, and that means your costs decrease. So not only do you deliver a better result, you get more testimonials, more case studies, and you're able to deliver faster. So the first thing you need to do is niche down and focus. Now you might say, oh, I don't know where to start with a niche. This is how I decided when I first niched down. I'm gonna choose dentists or boutique gyms. And I said, right, I'm gonna spend a whole day cold calling dentists and I'm gonna spend a whole day cold calling gyms. First day was dentists. I was like picking up the phone. Gatekeeper. I was like, this is a nightmare. Wouldn't put me through to the dentist, wouldn't put me through. I was like, I'm not doing this. Next day, gyms. Straight through the mobile, on Google, local gyms, mobile number, straight to the owner of the business. I know I can sell direct because I can get hold of the person that can make a decision. And that's how I just started to hyper focus. If you haven't got a niche figured out, just take a foot in a direction where you know you can get a result. Doesn't have to be all figured out. You do need to decide. My second bit of advice is find the clients that are willing to pay the most. This was an absolute game changer for my business. So going back to the gym analogy, when I was working for boutique gyms, yes, I got the niche right. Yes, I could sell to them easily. Yes, they would buy easily. And yes, I was getting great results. But they would only pay me £1,000 a month. Sometimes where they was only paying me £750 a month. And I was doing lead generation, setting up their back end, running their ads. I was doing absolutely everything. And then we scaled really quickly, but we wasn't making any money, right? There was no profit in it. And the best thing that happened to me was
COVID-19. Coronavirus. COVID.
When COVID hit, I lost 95% of our clients. We lost like over 30 gyms. It was, first of all, I shit my pants, naturally, because the income had gone, but it also got me thinking about, okay, well, how can I just take that skill set and plug it into a bigger industry or a better client? And all of a sudden, I was charging 10, 15K for the same amount of work that I was charging £1,000. Let that sink in. In fact, I was probably doing less work than I was for the gyms because they wasn't bothering me. They weren't hounding me. Think about how you can leverage your same skill set, but plug it into a better client. Tip number 3, I'm a massive people pleaser. And I say yes to things and I commit to things before really thinking about it. Not wanting to let people down, right? The best thing you can do, 10K to 100K, is to say no. You say no to anything that's gonna take you off track from achieving your goals. No is gonna become your favorite word. I was saying yes to everything and everyone. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I can do that. And I wasn't charging right, and I wasn't setting up boundaries, and I wasn't being able to fulfill to the best of our ability, and I was just stressed. Say no, yeah? If it doesn't involve achieving your business and personal goals, This accounts for your relationships, your family, your partner. If you're saying yes to things that are taking you away from spending time with them, quality time with them, and you're not even getting paid for like, just say no. Ultimately, if you say yes to everything, especially if it's client work and projects that you don't want to be working on, you're just going to become a stressed employee of your own business. Number 4, delegate literally as much as you physically can that is not involved marketing and selling your service. The amount of wasted time I spent on tasks that I could delegate to unbelievably talented people all over the world just because I had an ego and thought I could do it better, or just because I wanted to keep control of how things looked or felt and were done. It was the biggest blocker on my scaling, was hiring team and trusting people to deliver. You have to put all of your energy in that period between 10 to 100K, focusing on how you're going to be marketing and selling your services. That is it. If I put in your diary 8 calls every single day with the right person, you're going to be able to close 2 to 5 of those people and you're going to scale to 100K. Problem is, you don't spend your time outreaching, speaking to prospects, getting booked appointments. What you do is you distract yourself micromanaging tasks that could be outsourced to someone for $5 to $10 and you waste your time and energy. That's what I was doing. Number 5, find someone or a group of people that have achieved the goal that you want. Now I have to at this point give the biggest shout out to Joel Kaplan, and I'm going to be transparent right with you right now, right? When I first joined Agency Lab, I was pissed because I paid for it out of complete and utter pain. I was around about the 50K mark at that point and I couldn't scale to 100K, and all of the calls were late in the evening. I was making all these excuses why I couldn't jump on the calls. I didn't really get involved in the community and I spent a good amount of money. I was a little bit resentful about it, if I'm honest with you. Lo and behold, 6 months in, I started joining these calls. I started jumping on the phone with Joel Kaplan, other 100K entrepreneurs, and lo and behold, all of the answers to the problems I had, they'd been through. They'd gone through it, they had solutions, they had processes, they had network and resources that I could leverage. That gave me speed. If I had done that in the first 60 days, I would have hit 100K consistently pretty much straight away. So find your network of people or the person that can give you speed. And yes, you might have to invest some money, you might have to invest some time, but I promise you right now, that's going to be one of the quickest ways for you to leverage their expertise, time and resources to get to the next level. Don't try and figure it out yourself. What you have to do is you need to leverage these people that are in the same position you want to be, leverage their expertise, and then you put your spin on it. I didn't agree with everything that I saw within Agency Lab. It didn't all resonate with me. A lot of these guys work with different niches, but you just put your spin on it and then you just take action and you grow. Number 6, prioritize your non-negotiables. And what I mean by non-negotiables, I'm not even talking about in business, in life. My non-negotiables that I have to train every single day. Regardless, I go to the gym, I beast myself. My other non-negotiables is every single day I have to spend at least an hour, 2 hours of present time with my kids and my family. Otherwise, what's the point of it? There's certain non-negotiables that you have to set up in your life. Otherwise, you'll just go down a rabbit hole of working, and you forget what you're actually working for. So there's certain things in your life that you have to have non-negotiables around and boundaries so that you are fulfilled. Number 7 is clarity. You have to get crystal clear on what the you want. Why are you doing it? What's the purpose? What's the reason? What's the outcome? Because if you don't have clarity, you don't have conviction. When you don't have conviction, you don't have confidence. When you don't have confidence, you do not act in the best way you possibly can. You don't act at the best version of you. You don't have to have all of the path laid out in front of you, but get clear on who it is you help, what your offer is, why you're doing it, why you want these outcomes for them, why you want these outcomes for yourself. When you have that, you move with purpose, you move with conviction. And I'm telling you right now, you're struggling to sell at the minute, you're struggling to motivate your team. It's because you lack conviction and clarity in where you're going. How do you get that? There's 2 ways you get clarity and conviction. You have to spend the time actually sitting and thinking about the things you want and why you want them. You have to spend that time, write it down, make some notes, think about it. Don't just look at someone else's dream and their version of what they want for success and you just jump on the bandwagon. You actually get a clear plan on what you want. And then you have to take immediate action. So just from even getting clear, you're gonna start building some conviction in your mind that you actually want it. You're gonna start getting excited. You're gonna start moving with purpose. So they're the 7 things that I would highly focus on if you want to go from a 10K online entrepreneur a month to 100K. That's what I did. So this is probably the anti-guru advice of how to make 100K a month. It's not simple, it's not easy, it's not going to happen overnight, but you can do it quickly if you go all in on the things that I said above. If you like that video, hit subscribe, comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.